We have a GB News exclusive showing that the British military has now been sent to Dover to do the job that the Border Force are failing to do. How many times do we have to have the same discussion and same debate all over again? When it comes to the border crisis and the migrant issue that we have, illegal migrants continue to come in every single day. And we mostly talk about the small boats, but in reality, as I always do a reminder, we still have people coming in through the tunnel, the lorries, and of course those who get fake tourist visas and fake educational visas, student visas to come into the country and then get lost in the system, and they suddenly appear outside of their home office in Croydon to just say, oh, I'm now here, please help me, I'm an asylum seeker. So that's been going on for ages. But the Border Force, one of the jobs that they have is to detect the small boats near Kent and to ensure that they pick them up. Because if they don't pick them up, and if they go past the Border Force and they just reach the shores, they could just get lost in the system. And that's even worse. So on the one hand, we've been obviously complaining that the Border Force are an ally. These guys are acting as taxi service. True, but it's even worse if they're not there. Because these illegal migrants, and some of them are actual criminals in regards to violence and gangs and all the others, especially from Romania, they get completely lost in the system. There will be no monitoring, there will be no vetting. So it's a very lose-lose situation right now for the authorities. But the army has been sent there because the Border Force are not doing their jobs properly. They can't fully detect all the boats. So the military are able, because they have more skills, clearly, they detect more boats in case they pass the Border Force.
As we filmed, military personnel left Dover Harbour in 2 rigid inflatables to patrol some of Kent's beaches, looking for any small boats that might have made it past the Border Force and Navy vessels out in the Channel. GB News has been told that other members of the military are now routinely patrolling some beaches on foot as well. Into the afternoon, the boats kept coming, just before the weather window closed again with windy...
It's crazy. So the initial problem we had since especially 2020, because it was going on before that anyway, but with the small boats, 2020, and when lockdown started, that opened a whole new door when it came to the small boats and the English Channel. So the initial problem was just a number of them coming in. Huge number. Now the second problem is, because there's so many of them coming in, so many boats on a daily basis, that the Border Force aren't able to detect all of them. So there's a new problem. It's more of a new crisis, essentially, that they can't even detect them. So then there's going to be so many illegal migrants who are now just walking around the country undetected, and completely lack of any registration, any documentation. We don't even know their backgrounds. And you get surprised why we get so many vile and disgusting stories about incidents and the damages and violence and crime and everything else being going up in the country. But we are going to be keeping an eye on this matter as usual on this channel. So feel free to join us as a member of the channel by clicking on the join button, and you get extra perks, including weekly Q&As with me and video calls directly with me every Sunday. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.